On that fateful day, I went for my normal doctor's visitation at 39 weeks. First, I was already disappointed because after everything I've done, I did exercise, took raspberry tea, took dates, pineapple. Like there is nothing I did not do just for my baby not to cross 39 weeks. But eventually, he did cross. After seeing my gynae, I quote in his words, "See you next week. And if by then baby did not come, we are going to induce." I can remember going home to increase my exercise, walking 1 hour in a day, doing everything I was doing before, even more. But I still met up with my 40th week appointment. When I went in this time around, I went with my husband and I told the gynae, let's discuss about the induction process. And my gynae said, induction starts from 41 weeks. That's when we consider induction. I remember telling my gynae, I can't carry this baby cross to 41 weeks. Please, let's talk about it because I'm already 40th week. I remember we booked for induction 2 days later, which falls on a Sunday. On that fateful day, I was supposed to go for my induction, which is on 14th of December. I felt numb and I had to postpone it to the next day, which is on Monday, 15th of December. On that fateful day, I got to the hospital around 5 p.m. I got induced around 10 p.m. I remember them trying to use 2 different things that looked like a penis to induce me, but it never worked, and they ended up stripping my membrane and inserting a tablet. I came back to my room and slept around 12 a.m., waking up around 2 a.m. with labor pain. This time around, it wasn't severe. I was having that cramps just like normal period cramps, so I was enduring it from that 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. Around 3 a.m., I decided to go to the bathroom to take my bath while I wait. I remember going to the bathroom and I decided to shower with hot water. When I started showering, I noticed the pain reduces and I continued and stayed there for 1 hour. Coming out, it was already 4. I still haven't called the midwife at those points because this is my 3rd child and I know what it looks like when baby wants to come out. So I didn't want them to keep checking me. I decided to only call them when the labor gets intense. At this point, my husband was sleeping. The nurses, they came to check on me. They saw I was fine and they left. At around 5 a.m., the labor have started getting more serious, but still manageable. I still did not call them. Not until 6 p.m., I can remember very well, that was when my husband woke up. The pain was unbearable and I decided to call them. Just for some reason, they never come immediately. And I kept complaining. I can remember complaining, crying, because at this point, it was just too much. One of the nurses came to me and I quote in her words, "The midwife are busy. There are other 3 women in the labor room. The midwife are busy. They can't come to see you now." I got so angry. I woke up. I said, "What do you mean? Am I joking? I'm feeling pain. I'm also in labor. Is it because I'm calling you now? Do you think my labor just started now? I've started laboring since 2 a.m. I only decided not to call you people." Let me not forget, I booked for an epidural the day I went to see my gynae. And when they induced me, they asked me and reminded me, "Do you still go ahead with the epidural?" And I said yes. At this point, when they came to check me, they said, okay, if I'm already like above 4 cm, that's when they are going to give me epidural. In my head, I said, if this level I'm seeing right now is still 4 cm, please book me for CS. The midwife checked. At this point, I didn't check time, but it should be something, let's say 6:40 something. When she checked, she said, at those points, you can't be giving epidural again as you are already 6 to 7 cm dilated. I myself, I knew I have crossed that, but maybe she just said it so I don't start pushing because the urge to push was just too much and I can't even bear it. But I didn't want to push without their consent because in my first baby, I pushed around 8 cm, 9 cm, and I had a severe cervical tear which almost took my life because I bleeded a lot and they have to stitch my cervix. Immediately she checked, she said, "You're already around 6, 7 cm, no more epidural. Please, let's rush her to the labor room." I smiled. They asked my husband to bring my stuff and my baby stuff. I was rushed to the labor room and in her words, she said, "Let's rush her to the labor room so we can bust her water." When I got there, I was surprised when I told her the urge to push is too much. I want to push and I can't resist it. She said, "You can push." I was shocked. That means you knew I was 10 cm already. That's why the pain was all over the place on my waist. And when she now said push, contraction stopped. I couldn't push again. But I had to wait for contraction to start again. I tried pushing. I was pulling instead of pushing. And she told me, "This is not how to push, madam. Try harder. This is your 3rd child. Try harder." When I tried to try harder, she saw the baby head and she held onto the baby head and helped bring out the baby head and the shoulder. I thank that midwife. She really tried because I never did more of pushing, unlike my other delivery. And immediately I heard that sweet cry. I heard that beautiful cry. that angelic cry, my heart melt down. And here comes my baby, a 3.65 kg baby. All glory to God. It's not by my making. I can remember coming to make content with my pregnancy here, and I got so many trolls. Some people, when they want to troll me, instead of trolling me directly, instead of insulting me directly, they will be insulting the baby and be telling me, you know, you're pregnant. And in my head, what do you mean by, you know, I'm pregnant? What concerns my pregnancy with your comments? But I held on to God, and I said, I can't stop doing my content because I'm pregnant. After I'm going to the market, other people, strangers, are seeing me. So some of these people are just strangers. And I kept praying and believing in God. And here comes my beautiful baby. Thank you guys for staying tuned. Thank you for your prayers. So many of you prayed for me. So many of you wished me well. Thank you for all your congratulations messages. I see them all, and I totally do appreciate. And I see you guys as my friends. Thank you. I'll see you again on my next video. Bye.